Here is, you might be familiar with the symbol on the right, which is the Texaco company. Not only is it a T and the pentagram, if you study a lot of Celtic or Irish megaliths from the air, and you look at the chamber that goes in, like Newgrange, that's what it looks like. They're called cuneiform, they have the cruciform interior chambers. So that is also a symbol for those who've studied ancient megaliths. Looking down, that's the shape that they are. Often designed on the pentagram shape, often with this T-shaped interior. Newgrange is a perfect example. The same company on the left, this is a different logo. See how serpentine it is. And it's actually called Hydro Texaco. Hydro is Hydra, the serpent. The famous Hydra is the seven-headed serpent. Go to the Masons themselves and you'll notice where all of this is coming from. One of the highest degrees, the 25th degree, is actually known as the Knight of the Brazen Serpent. But even the Knight Kadosh, they're at the 30th degree, you see. There's lots of meaning behind all of that. And just I pointed out this in the Brotherhood of Death interviews and many others, that just the fact that there's so many Judite the terminology. Look, Knight of the Sun, there's one. The Royal Axe, the Rose Cross, and the Knight of the Brazen Serpent, the Knight of the Gleaming Serpent, the Bright Serpent. And as we pointed out before, here you have it. The royal dynasties are clearly part of that so-called Dragon Brotherhood or Dragon Court. I mean, to me, it's almost crazy. You're born, you're named. They always give their sons and daughters the names of previous kings. It's like, oh, okay, that's great. You grow up and you're actually named after the previous psychopaths. Here's a couple I just noticed in the last couple of weeks. An online site. And you not only have the mushrooms, which remember is the Dionysian mushroom cult. You have the trees of life, you have the sacred female, and you have the lizard reptilian symbol in the foreground and some other weird flora there. Really fascinating. And again, we just want to get to the point that we're rounding up this section about the rewards for the lackeys. These are Wilhelm Reich's little men. But the fact that you see them in proximity to the royals is also very alarming. And these awards are a signal to the rest of the people coming up. Do as they do and you will be taken care of. And so you have left-wingers and right-wingers, right? Gentiles and Jews and all sorts of people joining the same orders. How can Göring and von Papen from the Nazi Party be members of the same order that Nelson Mandela, a so-called left-winger, is a member of? Hasn't Mandela shown some, say, I'm not going to join this order, look who the guys are. No, they're joined right away. Because they know what you don't know. I think David Trimble here on the left actually gave his award up. I'm not sure, I still have to look into his biography. They are telling you themselves the very symbol of the Fabian society is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The very word Fabian refers to Fabius, the Roman general who, through a gradual process, right, that David Icke talks about, the totalitarian tiptoe. The Trojan horse methodology of how you control the human race and the human mind. Not openly. In fact, a lot of the open conflicts is to distract you from what's really going on. Here they are, the Fabian logo, and their other symbol of them shaping the world, beating the world with their Masonic hammers into shape, the shape that they want it to be. And they do that through these people's champions, these charlatans. You just don't fall for this bad boy image. Sometimes it's legit, other times it's not. One of the words that they use for themselves secretly is exon. Did you know what that word really means? We know the word page means a servant of the crown, right, who runs back and forth doing the bidding of the royals. Actually, the real word for the ones who do the true bidding of the royals, for the inner court, is exon. That's what the word means. It also has, they've stylized it, made the double cross, because they're telling you who the royals are. The Cross of Lorraine, the Habsburg family, the Duc d'Orléans, the Grand Orient versions of Freemasonry. But the symbol was plagiarized. Here it is in the ancient Phoenicians, the ones who taught all humanity what was up. not just a small elite. But the Duc de Lorraine, him and his brother, they are the true founders of the Illuminati. Adam Weishaupt was just on the surface. The Masonic hand grips, pay attention to that. This is a very bizarre photograph. If somebody grabbed you by the back of the neck like that, I don't think you'd be too happy. And again, color has nothing to do with it, as we've now discovered. This is another sort of lie. You know. This can, anyone can convert to this, as we now have found out. It goes beyond all of the certain social and class divisions that we know about. Political slant is also meaningless, you see. These guys swing from communism to fascism in a heartbeat, only themselves to find out that it's all one and the same. Religious persuasion, meaningless, just another distraction. Don't believe it? Karl Marx worked with Friedrich Engels, who himself was a very wealthy industrialist who had little children down in the mines. Right? He ran mines in the north of England, Friedrich Engels. His name was on the Das Kapital book, not Karl Marx, for I think a period of 18 to 20 years, I'm not sure, but for years and years and years, Karl Marx's name didn't even appear on the Das Kapital or the Communist Manifesto. This guy on the right was the funder of Marx, a Jewish industrialist who had little children down in the mines working their guts out to die at like 12 or 14 of that kind of oppressive work, and he's the champion of socialism. Wake up. Wake up and realize these conflicts are purely on the surface. See through the fix. And the court jester idea. In every court you have your jester who's permitted to parody, right, the goings on, and permitted to jibe at the king. He's permitted that. But he's still part of the court. That's to release the tension, but not to really affect real change. You dig a bit deeper, you find that they're all part of the same movement. They're all in bed together.